On this Topcon 2G and the 1E, oftentimes the lever that operates the filter might get loose and it gets out of alignment, where if it's not in the right place, when you flip it to the color, it doesn't go all the way one way or the other because it's misaligned. Even though this is at the end, still got some more room, so it's not aligned. So this happens fairly often. This lever's small and it can get loose and then get out of alignment. One thing is important is that this little cover sometimes comes off. It only has a little bit of adhesive on the edges. And it can come off from overuse. So if we were going to realign this, first thing we'd want to do is secure our cover over the filter wheel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this old glue off with some acetone, and then I'm going to apply just a little dab of cement, whatever you have available. So we're going to do that, and then we'll concentrate on adjusting the alignment of the lever. Now that we have the cover secure, maybe yours is already secure, I'm going to loosen this lever, and here's what the lever looks like. It's got a little hole in it. That it's helpful if you can find something that can fit inside there so that you can get some good leverage on it. And it just so happens that this size of an Allen, if you have this size, 1.3 mil or 0.050, it will fit in there and you can get some good leverage on it. That's what happens most of the time, is that it's just tightened by finger tight, and so it gets loose. But at the end of this lever, it's got a point, and that point goes right into here. And this is like a little gear that operates the filter wheel. Underneath the filter wheel, it's got a little gear, and that fits on there. And so when you're turning the lever, you're turning your filter. So if you still have the cap on there, you can take it off. And if you don't have something to fit in there, you may have to just use some pliers to loosen it. And what we're going to do, we're going to take it all the way out to put something on these threads. And I'm going to use a little bit of polish, just a dab on the threads, so that when we tighten it after we've aligned it, it might stay a little longer. So I'm going to loosen this one. Now try to get it in the center. Try to get it in the center where it's clear, so that when you put it back in, you'll have a good reference point. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of oops, just a drop. Okay, now I'm going to want to line it up, so I'll turn my power on, and I can see that even though I've got this in the center, it's way off. So I'm just going to loosen it, turn it a little bit, and then hand tighten it and turn it whichever way it needs to go to get it back into the center. And one way we can tell if we're centered and the alignment is that on each end there should be a little extra. It should go all the way to the color and leave a little bit of room, and both sides should have the same amount of space. This has got a lot of space, but if I go back over here, I don't have any space. So I'm going to have to adjust my lever so that I'm getting equal space on each side. And looking at our alignment, it's already looking pretty good. Looks like it's right in the center, and as we turn to the blue, we've got a little extra. And as we turn to the green, a little extra. So that's pretty close to alignment, but we'll hook it up and see if we need to do any adjusting with our alignment. You might find that it's unable to stay in the spot you wanted it to, because it's already made an indentation on the gear, and it's going to go back into its original place. And as long as you can get the full filter on both colors, and if you can't get the space to be the same on each side, well, that's just going to have to be how it is. And as long as it detents fully in each color, then you're okay. You'll just have to live with the fact that it's already made its factory indentation, and it's going to go back there. Even if you try to tweak it a little bit, it's still going to go back there. Don't forget to tighten it up with your whatever you're putting it in here. Tighten it up. And put your cap back on. And if you had put a little polish on the threads, that it might help it from coming loose again, but if you tighten it, it should stay on there. If you put a little bit of torque on there with something like this, it should stay there.